Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be talking about the Gavin Mystery because it gets even more interesting. It looks like Rockstar left out or decided to just cut altogether an important part of this story that I think would have explained things a whole lot more. So by now, I'm sure you're all aware of the Gavin Mystery in Red Dead Redemption 2, but in case you're not, let's get you caught up. There's a man walking around various cities in the game, like Saint Denis and Rhodes, and his name is Nigel, and he is looking for his long-lost friend Gavin, and he explains all about that in encounters that you can have during the main part of the story and also during the epilogue as John Marston. So take a listen to these encounters right here.
I'm looking for my mate Gavin. Somebody help me! Gav? Gav? I've lost my friend. Somebody help me, please! Listen, have you seen... I'm looking for my friend Gavin.
I don't know any Gavins, I'm afraid.
English bloke. Lovely fella. He went missing and now I'm all alone.
Good luck.
That's too bad. Gavin! Gav! Where are you? Where are you? This is really worrying me. Gavin! This is just too bad. Gav! Gavin! I mean, nobody's seen hide nor hair of him.
I can't believe something like that can just
Gavin! I've looked all over for him for bloody miles. Have you seen him? Has anyone seen him? Where is he? Gavin!
Partner?
I'm looking for my friend, Gavin. For Gavin.
Has he been gone long?
Yeah. Few years. Few bloody years. I can't remember what he looks like. I'm looking for him, but I don't know who he is.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I've wasted my life. I wasted my life looking. I looked, but I never saw. I saw nothing. Gavin.
Good luck.
Gavin. Oh, I am so worried. Gav. Gav! Gav! Where are you?
So that should give you the gist. This guy is looking for Gavin. He is his friend. He hasn't seen him in ages. And even 7 years later, he is continuing to look for Gavin. So everyone wants to know where Gavin is. And it gets even weirder when you understand the letter that's in his pocket. It's letter to Nigel from Tom. Dear Nigel, I was so happy to hear from you. I cannot believe it, mate. My two friends, you and Gavin. Boys I grew up with, now real rich and successful cowboys in America. That's incredible news. Well done, mate. Seriously, well done. I knew you and Gavin would find success over there. I mean, it stands to reason. A pair of boys from little old Maidenhead, Berkshire, now successful over in America. I might come over and join you myself. Now that you two have done so well, both of you rich and living in big mansions with servants and all them cattle, I remember when the height of your ambition was pretending you were a Londoner and seeing if you fooled those Scotch boys we met by the barracks. Funny thing is, Gavin never mentioned none of this in his letter, but he was always a bit of a quiet one, and I reckon you wrote after he did. Either way, I am made up for the pair of you, made up cowboys, millionaires. We miss you. Especially your mom, since your dad passed on, but she told me she was so proud of you. Even Gavin's ma was happy. She said her usual piece about not thinking you had it in you, but she smiled and said she knew her boy would see sense or make sense of something eventually. Berkshire forever, your pal Tom. P.S. I saw that bloke Brian Gold the other day in the market. He said some real odd things about you, which I said weren't true. Bet he's laughing on the other side of his face now. So by now you guys know how weird and not true that letter actually is, and how it looks like Nigel here was representing a completely different story than the one Gavin was, which we've talked about again in previous videos. So clearly there's something amiss here. Well, it gets even weirder. We've talked about some weird things that can be found in the PC files of the game. Like, for example, if you actually choose to spawn in as Gavin, not like Gavin's friend, not Nigel, you'll actually spawn in as this guy right here, Nigel, who actually is looking for Gavin. So maybe that was just an oversight by Rockstar. Maybe Gavin was never meant to be seen. But there's even more follow-up to that, as there's a picture of him that can be found in the in-game files that reveals what Gavin was supposed to look like if he did end up spawning in. Like, this is Gavin's actual character, not just the one that the game chooses to let you spawn in. So you guys can see there, he's like bald, dirty, looks like he's rough, and not really having a great time of himself. That's what Gavin was supposed to look like. A lot different than what I imagined, but maybe he was like held hostage or got lost and was stuck in the woods for a couple of days or rolling around in the mud. I mean, who really knows at this point in time? And the mystery gets even weirder because there was a file found in the game suggesting that that letter from Tom to Nigel was supposed to be a different kind of document. So this line of code right here reveals that instead of that letter, it was going to be a restraining order from Gavin. And I'm sure you guys know what a restraining order is. It's basically like a legal binding document saying you have to stay away from someone. You can't contact them. You can't visit them. You can't talk to them. You couldn't call them back in the day, but in modern times, this is what you would not be able to do. A restraining order. So this makes a lot more sense, or I should say, helps make more sense of what's going on here. That this guy, Nigel, Gavin's friend, is crazy, like we already knew. But Gavin knew this. So maybe Gavin is not lost, but rather just wants nothing to do with Nigel. This guy is crazy, is lying about the time they are having in America. So maybe he was like, okay, you know, I don't want anything to do with you, Nigel. I got to pull out the restraining order. And that would make sense why he would have that document. If he was served a restraining order, it would make sense. It would be on his person when you end up looting him. So this all just became very, very interesting. And it makes you wonder why Rockstar decided not to go down this route as far as the Gavin story. So what I think this does is that originally, since you could loot Gavin's note from Nigel, I think this confirms his existence as a character that was supposed to be in the game and potentially that we could find. Now, I don't know why, again, Rockstar decided to scrap that and replace it with the letter from Tom, which is what you currently loot from Nigel. And this is why I think a story mode update would be so fitting for Red Dead Redemption 2, because it could expound upon some of these incredible mysteries. But I think for now, this just makes this entire story that much more interesting. That Gavin was supposed to exist, that he was going to send his friend a restraining order, and that he very likely was someone that you could actually find in-game. So, again, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think about this entire saga and more. And you can also reach out to me on my Facebook page to send photos, videos, messages, and more if you'd like to as well. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.